we turn to our own Chief White House correspondent, Monica Paige, to figure out what exactly is going on. Monica.
Hi, Chanel. It's great to speak with you. So what you're mentioning here about the president being diagnosed with COVID is actually very interesting, especially when you think of the timing of it all. Of course, we just had President Trump's attempted assassination just this past weekend. So the timing of it is seemingly trying to put Joe Biden back in the spotlight and trying to cover up any sort of, seemingly attention shifting to Joe Biden. But what's interesting, Chanel, is that the concept of COVID was something that really made Joe Biden, when you come to think of it, back in 2020. COVID now is back, but it could be coming back to bite Joe Biden. COVID really put Biden in the basement. Biden seemingly ended up winning, bringing him in. But now it seems like things could take a turn because of this COVID diagnosis. And of course, we have heard from plenty of lawmakers and also Biden's own staffers from behind the scenes pretty much saying, it's time to step out. They're going to try and pressure him this upcoming weekend to step down. Will he do it? I'm not too sure, because he is a very stubborn when it comes to, his record, and he feels like he deserves having this presidency. So we'll see if he follows suit.
Monica, it seems that I think you brought up a great point that COVID is largely used as a cover in this administration. And if he did actually have COVID, people are questioning why he was wandering around, meeting and glad handling people without a mask, without any of the traditional precautions they've used. But at this point, he's called a lid. I guess he's called a lid at 9:40 in the morning to run off to Rehoboth. Is that where we're at right now?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he left Las Vegas, he immediately went to hunker down in Delaware, where he's been the past 24 hours at this point. And he's called the lid at 9:40 a.m., much during the time that people are starting to have their own breakfast. He's called the lid, and we will not hear from the president or from the White House for the rest of the day. Of course, we're expected to hear some kind of update as far as, how the president's health is going. But it's interesting because just the fact that the president having this so-called COVID illness is something it's just interesting to me, because Biden is certainly having this kind of full circle moment, because if COVID could take him out, but it also brought him in. And now what we're seeing behind closed doors is this attempted assassination of Joe Biden from his own staffers, trying to get him to take himself out. Of course, we've seen President Trump's attempted assassination on him, but this is a seemingly different kind of assassination, which is something that I think is also very interesting and something that we should be looking at as well.
That's a great point, and for the most part, your fellow White House press corps, they believe that Obama's pushing him out. According to Politico Playbook, the reporting is that Nancy Pelosi's fingertips are, quote, all over this knife. And they talk about how well they know Nancy Pelosi's tactics. And it's remarkable that that story is leaking from out of the Pelosi camp and straight into Politico and CNN.
Yeah, it is interesting, because Nancy Pelosi was the one for months, and in recent days, for weeks, just going and making her media rounds saying that Joe Biden is the candidate. He has my full support, doubling down and reiterating that point and fact of the matter constantly. But now it's seeming like she is behind it, and I wouldn't be surprised if former President Obama and also the Clintons are behind it as well. They cannot wait to step in and try and figure something out here. But what's interesting is that if they were to replace Joe Biden, which it does seem more likely now than ever before, it would have to be Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris, for the cleanest and basically the easiest way to put somebody in as far as delegates and fundraising money goes. But she fares so much worse than President Trump. It's like 6 points and up where she falls behind President Trump in all the polls, basically throughout many states like Georgia, Florida, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania. She does not do well at all in those key states. So it's definitely Democrats are in disarray behind these closed doors, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they can even cover for this moving forward. Biden has doubled down. He says, I'm the candidate. His campaign says, I'm the candidate. We'll see if he is, especially after this weekend where these rumors are not slowing down.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.